Calling for a revolution, a revolution may not be the right word, but there is a very high level of dissatisfaction among the populace, which is possibly provoking this protest. Now, Ethel, do you think that the government is actually looking at what could be the root causes, or they are just reacting to the fact that somebody said he wants or is calling for a revolution?
I think government is reacting to that fact, because with that protest, so many persons, let me say, some who are not even, who don't even have interest in the protest, will not catch in on the situation, to now start either destroying, stealing, because the security now for them to curtail them will become difficult. I think that's what the government is trying to avoid. Otherwise, everybody knows and everybody is feeling the pinch of what is happening everywhere. I feel it, you feel it too. So they know, but it's just that so that these persons should not cash in on the situation to do otherwise.
So it means that besides just arresting Sowore, which is what I would just call a reactionary measure, we would have expected that the government would have invited the protagonists of that something to say, okay, come to a table. What exactly are the issues? Now, yes, maybe you come in here, Chima, because it's one thing to just arrest. Sometimes too, when you arrest the main man, it even sort of conflagrates the
No. Okay, there are certain clarifications that are necessary. Sowore was not picked up just because he used the word revolution. There was a deeper meaning. There was something else that it appears Sowore wanted. He wanted to overawe the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have had an election, and you can only change a government by election. We've had an election, and he was also saying that he wants to bundle an elected president out of office. That is treason. He does not. He said he doesn't give a damn what the law says, so he knows what he's doing. And then he added that by August 5th, the DSS and other agencies of state will cease to exist. He wanted to create anarchy.
What did he smoke?
I don't know. I don't
the guy.
So every Nigerian, yes, feels the pinch of the fact that our economy is not working as it's supposed to be. Roads are not there, infrastructure is not there, electricity is not there. Things are not working. We all know.
Yes.
But after losing an election.
You see, fine, we all understand this. We are in a democracy. Change of government has to be by elections.
Yes.
We know that. Then, of course, in whatever you do, you have to mind your language and so on. But we are looking at the deeper frustrations, the deeper depression of the average Nigerian that could bring a Nigerian to begin to think and speak this way. That's what I think that the government possibly may not have paid attention to.
But Marco, let me say something. Let me say something. No matter how frustrated we may be, we have to wait for another 4 years, if you ask me. If Nigerians are really frustrated with the situation, then they have to wait till 2023 and do the right thing with their what? With their votes. That is the way forward. Not after losing, sorry to say to the man, not after losing the presidential election. He ran under a political party. He lost. Now he wants to, through the back door, get to power.
That's not his running mate anyway.
That's not possible. So if Nigerians are really frustrated of bad governance, they have to start working towards 2023 to vote these people out.
And there is also something, Marco.
Okay, we would take a break here because we want to take commercials. When we come back, we'll just round up on this topic. And when we open the lines, it is actually going to be, the question will be, what do you think of revolution now? What do you think of the general protest? What do you think of WARRI's action? What do you think of how the government is handling it? Do you think WARRI could have acted better? Or do you think the government could have acted better? Let's hear what your opinion would be about this whole issue that is trending now about this revolution now. But then let's go over and take commercials. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Today, I go teach on how to party Naija style. First, gather boys.
Hello, Chairman. I beg you.
Arrange somewhere. If it be parlor or even yard sef. Then arrange something for guys to shop.
Oh, yeah. Correct guy.
Wetin remain. Yes, and just like that, party don't start with that oh. With Coca-Cola wey dey inside correct glass bottle.
For better jollification, na glass shoppers. Enjoy 35cl glass Coca-Cola wey dey refresh body for only 50 naira. Taste the flavor.
Today, I go teach on how to party Naija style. First, gather boys.
Hello, Chairman. I beg you.
Arrange somewhere. If it be parlor or even yard sef. Then arrange something for guys to shop.
Oh, yeah. Correct guy.
Wetin remain. Yes, and just like that, party don't start with that oh. With Coca-Cola wey dey inside correct glass bottle.
For better jollification, na glass shoppers. Enjoy 35cl glass Coca-Cola wey dey refresh body for only 50 naira. Taste the feeling.
Today.
Welcome to 9 Mobile Experience Center. How may I help you?
Look, I need a simple plan that allows me to browse all I want, call all I want, and text all I want without any restrictions.
Oh, Moreflex is the perfect all-in-one plan for you. When you join Moreflex on 9 Mobile, you get double data on your data purchase. Really? You also get 300% extra on every Moreflex bundle. Now, that's more than just value. It's Moreflex. Just dial *344*amount hash to get started.
9 Mobile, here for you, here for Naija.
Welcome to 9 Mobile Experience Center. How may I help you?
Look, I need a simple plan that allows me to browse all I want, call all I want, and text all I want without any restrictions.
Oh, Moreflex is the perfect all-in-one plan for you. When you join Moreflex on 9 Mobile, you get double data on your data purchase. Really? You also get 300% extra on every Moreflex bundle. Now, that's more than just value. It's Moreflex. Just dial *344*amount hash to get started.
9 Mobile, here for you, here for Naija.
Welcome to 9 Mobile Experience Center. How may I help you?
Look, I need a simple plan that allows me to browse all I want, call all I want, and text all I want without any restrictions.
Oh, Moreflex is the perfect all-in-one plan for you. When you join Moreflex on 9 Mobile, you get double data on your data purchase. Really? You also get 300% extra on every Moreflex bundle. Now, that's more than just value. It's Moreflex. Just dial star 344 star amount hash to get started.
9 Mobile, here for you, here for Ninja.
Welcome to 9 Mobile Experience Center. How may I help you?
Look, I need a simple... Visit irockin.com for more Nigerian music anytime, anywhere.
As a people with one song, with one voice, we're a nation undivided and
Okay, we are back. Thanks for staying tuned into Melody FM 88.6. The program is still State of the Nation. I'm Malcolm Ocheri, and with me here in the studio are Linus Chima, Felix Eko, and SL Igiri. Now, Theo Philosonojiga of the Punch newspapers has joined us now. Theo, how are you this morning?
Good morning, dear fans.
Okay, well, you are coming in very, very early today, but let me just ask you, what are your thoughts about the WARRI revolution now?
For me, the presidency is actually burdening some persons, because the way you treat issues matters a lot. For me, there is no need for the arrest. It's a protest. In before the 2015 election, we also remember that in 2014, some of these prominent APC persons, the likes of El-Rufai, Buhari, Dino Melaye, Soyinka, the rest, also led a protest against the government of the day at that time. So for me, if you are using the word, because of the word revolution to be arresting people, I think other persons have used it before now. So there is no need. Allow the people to protest. Let them vent their anger. What we need is that we should tackle. What I actually wanted the federal government to say is that we are going to tackle the issues that the protesters are raising. Those are the most important thing. Let everybody comes together and move this nation forward. That is the most important thing. So for me, he should be released. You remember the other day we talked about the Ezazaki's case, and today the court has
the court has granted him bail. But are you aware whether he has been released?
No, he will be. There are conditions for. It's not actually a bail. He was asked to leave for a medical trip, and it will be supervised by the federal government. So it's when they must have concluded everything. They will give him the chance, and some representatives of the federal government will follow him down there.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, but I don't know.
It's okay.
But what I wanted to quickly add or ask...
we have had our session. It's just that Theo came in late. It's time for us to open up the lines for members of the public. Theo has shared his thoughts. He doesn't think that the federal government would have reacted, should have reacted the way they reacted by immediately arresting the WARRI, though the terminology may differ, but protest is protest. I think that's what your opinion is. Okay, let's open the lines now and hear from our people. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my people in the studio.
Okay, so can we know you and where you are calling from? Call your name again. Your line is quite low. Speak
My
up.
name is Mike, calling from Ebrumede.
Okay, Mike. Okay. Yes, you are one of our regular callers. Now tell us, what are your thoughts about the Revolution Now protest, the arrest of WARRI? What do you think about these whole developments? And there he goes. Well, we lost that call. Okay, let me continue with you, Theophilus. You just said that you were not comfortable the way the federal government reacted, but I don't know whether you also think about the negative tendency if he had not been arrested and if there was no immediate security reaction. Don't you think such a protest could have led to breakdown of law and order in the society?
I don't think so. In the first place, how many persons are following the protest? Yes, if the federal government thinks that the protest, some persons may likely hijack the protest, they should have provided security for the protesters.
Did they apply for? Did they notify the federal government or rather the security agencies in
2014, the police authorities were not informed, but the president at that time, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, provided security for the protesters.
How do you provide security for people you don't know are coming to protest?
We already know the prominent actors in this protest.
Theo,
sir,
I don't know, but you are using protest and revolution so fluidly that we are getting confused. You see, there is a big line of difference. It's not a thin line. There's a very, very bold line of difference between protests, which people have been doing,
yes,
without much stress. As Azaki people went to National Assembly to protest, it became violent, and that is why it became an issue. They have been protesting in Abuja for close to 4 or 5 years now. Nobody bothered them, and they didn't really bother anybody. So using revolution to interchange protests, I don't think that is it.
It's just a matter of name. Let me put it this way: what are the intentions of the protest? What are the intentions of the protest? These people,
like we can get Mike now.
Okay.
Hello, Mike.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Yesterday, when I called one of the radio stations, I made a statement that the language Mr. Showore used is the thing the federal government is using against him.
Okay.
If not, everybody is entitled to protest. But your last resource person made a reference. In 2014, some people said they will form a parallel government, which is also a treasonable comment. Some people said monkey and baboon will soak in their blood if they did not win. Those ones are not treasonable offense. In as much as everybody is feeling the pinch of the hardship of the government, I think everybody have right to shout out. At least if you are suffering, you have right to tell people that no, I am suffering or I am tired of this suffering. But the language we use, revolution, that is what federal government is using against him. In as much as I'm concerned, let me talk about the DSS taking order to detain him for 3 months.
Okay.
I am an law enforcement officer. My brother, this is the reason why most of our court cases fail in this country. If you arrest person, you have already alleged that he committed a treasonable felony with his utterances. Why not charge him to court? Because the law said you cannot detain person more than 24 hours. Why not charge that man to court? If you know he has committed, because they tell us that he has committed treasonable felony, then charge him with that offense. Why then seeking for order to detain him for a whole 3 months? You understand me? So I am not against you, or neither am I against federal government. But what I want to say is that federal government should handle this thing with caution. Because our people say, if a pikin they cry, they point a particular finger for a particular place. If a papa not did there, mama go did there. Let this thing not degenerate to another insecurity again. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Mike.
Can I define, according to Oxford, revolution? It says a forceful overthrow of a government or social order in favor of a new system.
Okay.
And some of the alternative words, or synonyms rather, you have a rebellion, revolt.
Hold on, Felix.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, please speak up. Speak up. What's your name? I can't get your name very well. You are speaking like Abel. Okay.
Yeah, let me continue the discussion about the revolution issue.
Yes.
I think the young man who has made a list attacking the protest, the revolution.
Okay.
The government will allow revolution to occur because they threat to that particular government.
Okay.
We have issues that are supposed to, even issues that are festival that we're supposed to protest against. If you say a peaceful protest against that policy of government, it is understandable. But when you say revolution always do with dangers, calamities, you do a lot of people will die. They say revolution. So, let's say, for example, here in the Niger Delta, when the vice president came in some time ago that all other countries of safety in the area should be related, I think they will pay their headquarters in areas of operation. These are issues whereby we, as the citizens of this Southern state, are supposed to protest, force them to come back to the area. But we get quiet. Nobody is anything. So what we should do, this is we have this consuming anger in the hearts and the minds of the people. That is what the future do not target as the revolution, because it is a threat to government of the day. So the young man has made that mistake, and government will not allow you to carry such act against it, because it will create a danger. You take over that government. So we people are angry, but we should use the areas to the comment of the language we should use against
Okay. Now, before we take the next call, Theo, let's look at the profile of this young man, WARRI. Does he look, from the way he has come up, does he look a terrorist, a revolutionary? You know, he is the owner of Sahara Reporters. Was there anything in his build-up so far that suggests that this guy, we have to watch him?
There is nothing like that. If you look at his profile right from time, he's a unionist, right from his university days in Ibadan. But you never can tell. Change is the only constant thing. Although not many of us agree that what the federal government is taking the protest for is not the intention of the protest. Because if I may also quote here, there is a story that was published by the Punch newspaper on September 30th, 2014, where the former governor of Lagos State and the leader of the APC, Ahmed Tinubu, calls for revolution in this country.
No, he said actually a common sense revolution.
Yes, when you say a common sense revolution, what is common sense revolution? The word revolution is there. Whether you call it common sense is just a matter of words. If you look at all the interview that WARRI has granted, there is nowhere he was quoted to have said they are going to take over the government by force. They said they will protest against insecurity, they will protest against the killings in the land, they will protest against poverty in the land. These are the things these persons are calling for. Yes, I may quite agree that the word may be forceful, but previous government have been using it. The point I'm standing,
previous governments of persons who are in government now. Previously. Okay, let's take this call. Hello. Oh, and the call is gone.
If
okay, let's get. Larewaju has gotten us now. I'm sure he was making calls. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Yes, Larewaju, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay, so I hear you are one of the planners of revolution now.
God forbid.
I took it from your mouth. Don't mind them.
God forbid. I will not partake in people that do not want this country to remain one. So those people are enemy of this country. You see, some people, that's why I normally say people should always read. Don't read one newspaper, read a lot of newspapers. Exactly. Let me quote, on July 25, here, WARRI Thunder comment.
Okay.
On his so-called revolution, I'm talking of protest. I'm not talking of protest. I'm embarking on revolution. 85% of Nigeria are supporting. Are you getting this word?
Go ahead.
He said this on July 25. I'm part of his data. I don't care. We must buckle WARRI out of the place. Are you getting it?
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't bloody care what happened to whether any court say anything. These are statements that he said, and it's on paper.
What paper?
So, I don't know the way some.
So that's why I was
What
asking of profile.
What
I was
paper?
asking you of the profile of this young man, his history, whether there were such tendencies. I know a lot of what you is bringing a very valid point now.
Yeah, the question I just asked, what paper?
Hold on, let's hear him out.
That is say that just a matter of what. Please let's not deceive ourselves. The reference you are making that people protest. Did they say they wanted to revolution at their protest at the end of the doesn't lead to election? Did they say they wanted to take over government? And the one that you are making reference to
Tinubu,
former governor of
Lagos State.
Rivers State, Amechi, that they will do a parallel government. Did they call people that they should come out that they wanted to form a parallel government? These are politics. These are political statements. Not somebody calling and telling you these are comments that he has made that people have seen it. Please let's not deceive ourselves. And we are seeing a lot of things that have happened before now. You can see somebody that is well respected that you call an elder statesman. He has come to a chairman statesman now. He writes a letter pertaining to colonization and Islamization. All those tensions are there in the mind of people. When the government bring the issue of rural grazing area, people when hearing it, they remember Obasanjo said something. Colonization and Islamization. So you can see the tendency, the hatred that has been created all because the person that is leading us is a full animal. They are just creating.
Olarewaju, permit me to ask you.
Yes.
You see, I have had this comment several times. Say just because the person leading us now is a Fulani man. Was Shehu Musa Yaradua an honorable man?
No.
Shehu Musa Yaradua. I brought out his picture yesterday, and I was looking at it. I was saying, "Oh God, what a beloved president Nigeria had." That man was a Fulani man also, Abi.
Yes.
Yeah. So why keep saying this that is because Buhari is a Fulani man? Is he the first Fulani man to have ruled Nigeria?
Don't get started with it. Those that were in power then, look at the state that the GDP is controlling, and the resources is at their disposal. They even control the entire media. Majority of our problem, apart from the elders, the media are also contributing to the problem that we are having in this country. Are you getting it?
Is it Olarewaju so that others can call? You have made a point, a valid point. The only one I take exception to is when you say that people are reacting because Buhari is a Fulani man. No, Buhari is not the first. No, Buhari is not the first Fulani man to have ruled Nigeria. Other Fulani men have ruled Nigeria before. And we loved them.
I will have a simple
We loved them. Shehu Musa Yaradua was my hero. He brought amnesty to Niger Delta, and we will forever be grateful to him.
Even he started the electoral reform.
Yes, hello.
Yes, thank you so much. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is Comrade Onomas Nelson.
Okay, Comrade Onomase Nelson. Okay, where do you come from last time?
Oh, Eku.
Oh, from Eku. Okay, let's hear you. What do you truly think of revolution now?
Yes. I want to go straight to the meaning, the implication, the semantics of the word revolution that people are teaching and talking about.
Okay.
One of you read a dictionary meaning of revolution just now.
Yes.
And it just said forceful change of government. If you go to the Oxford Dictionary, Advanced Oxford Dictionary, what he read was just meaning number one. Let him read 2, 3, 4. They are 4 there in the dictionary.
Good. Go ahead and give us 2 and 3, please.
Okay, let me give you 2.
Yes.
He has given us 1. It is a moment of great change. In a great change in the system. A great change, you're talking just political or overthrow. It's not a coup. It could be a Greek revolution, as it was in China during Chairman Mao Zedong. A Greek revolution. It could be a change, a revolution towards learning, as it was in the 15th century, the Renaissance period. Learning. It could be the industrial revolution.
Okay, so the point you are making, Comrade Nelson, is that government and people just took one meaning of revolution. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
You mean Sowore could mean other things by revolution now?
Just overthrowing the government.
Okay. Valid point.
Comrade Nelson.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
You know that
well, why we opened up this is so that we can hear the views, the feelings of other persons, of all Nigerians. You see, so I think it's good. You are hearing this now that.
Well, I looked at that.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, I want to thank you for your good work. I want to comment on this issue that is on the corner now.
Yes.
Yes, the first I want to talk about is that people should do what is right. The government of this day, I'm Joseph from Township.
Okay.
Yes. The first thing is this. The government has failed to recognize, for instance, people have talked about what WARRI and cohort did when Goodluck was there. And Buhari opened his mouth and said that will make the country ungovernable for Jonathan. He's facing it now and he's arrested person. Why was he not arrested that time? It's because the person at that time has the heart to condone. Like somebody said, he sent police to protect those who are doing that. When in Kano, in 2013, they gathered in Kano, and the police arrested them. And Falana was their lawyer. And what happened? So when you are doing things, when you forgot what you are doing, because you have made up your mind, when people are talking of Ruga and all this, they want to planize Nigeria.
We are talking about the revolution. We are talking about the revolution now. The revolution now, in quotes, yes.
All of them committed to it.
Okay, you are saying that all those developments, yes, culminated.
All these that gathered up.
Okay, but let me ask you a question, honestly, from the depth of your heart. Do you think Sowore could have approached this in a better way and possibly with a more positive language? Do you truly think so?
Now, the issue is that any way you pass out the yam will dump. Any way you pass the yam will.
So in your own opinion, there shouldn't be a legal way, there shouldn't be a legitimate way. But at least even when you are cutting a yam, you know that there is a way you should cut yam, at least that will be good.
Yes.
So there could have been some better ways.
No, everything like what somebody read in dictionary. You cannot accuse somebody until the person takes action. Has he taken the action that pronouncing a word? Now, like I said, Buhari said he wants to make the country ungovernable for Jonathan. Was he arrested?
But in this case, we saw practical protests on the streets.
There is no protest, practical protest, my dear. No, the charge in court now. Have they said anything? Have they said anything? The charge is 6 persons in court. Have the case has started. So these are the issues. When you are looking at one side, another person is looking at you from the other angle.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Thank
hello,
you.
Sir.
Our time
Will
is
you
up.
have joined the protest?
Definitely.
This guy, anyway, that's Nigeria. Different opinions, different perceptions, and that's the beauty of democracy. Really, you see that people think differently about these whole things. Some person think, well, the federal government has done the right thing, arresting Sowore. Some other persons think differently. Some other persons think the language is the issue. Some other persons think there is no issue truly about the language. Anyway, now, how do we get out of this? I would start from you now, Theo. We have barely some seconds to round off. The situation is already on ground. Sowore is in custody. Police are everywhere. You watch the pictures on all networks. You see heavy equipped policemen all over the place. How do we get out of this?
One, Sowore should be released, and then we must be proactive. If this should even be revolution, as many persons believe it is, first of all, this person, Sowore, has been granting interview for a while. The government has kept mute. We need to be proactive. When things are building up, we need to tackle them from the beginning. As things are coming, we tackle them. But in whole, Sowore should be released, and then let's tackle the issues which the protesters
Okay, thank you.
Calling the attention of the federal government.
The government should have been more proactive.
Yes.
This should have been nipped in the bud rather than allowing it get to this stage. Okay, Felix, final word.
For me, the government should release him. They should find a political solution to get him released, and they should get to address the issues that may have necessitated him calling for revolution. But above all, like I said, Nigerians should do a better revolution in 2023 when they come out en masse with their voters' cards to vote out the bad leaders. That is the best revolution.
Okay,
all of us are calling for the release of Sowore, but again, the tension in the country, if it becomes so high, would not lead us anywhere. We want peace. Let there be peace in the country.
Okay. Finally, Chima.
Okay, I don't know. If we leave Sowore down, other persons will wake up with similar ideas that they can wake up any morning and say any kind of thing that they want. But that is not how a country should go. I close with a word from Bill Clinton in his one of his inaugural speeches. There is a powerful and simple truth that we seem to neglect. We need each other, and we must care for one another. That is the way that Nigeria can go. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's how we round it off this morning. And well, I did tell you that 7th of August couldn't have gone out of my memory because for many years I have been involved in the National Youth Convention of Flock of Christ Mission, where I'm known as a pastor. And interestingly, that convention is beginning today, and youths are coming from all over the country to the headquarters of Flock of Christ Mission. And I know that after some time here, I will be joining them. People are coming from all churches everywhere. So that's why August 7th couldn't really have left my memory at all. So it's going to be a wonderful day, wonderful time, and we are going to have some very inspiring time from now through Sunday. So if you will, you can be a part of that very inspiring gospel program. That's how we close. Thanks, Felix Echo, for being around. Thanks, Theo, for being around. Thanks, Ethel, and also thanks, Linus Chima. Now, from the studio here, Loretta Onos has been very helpful. And then, of course, Enyoju Amioku, who is the DCA, will continue. Thanks for being with us and continue to remain tuned in to Melody FM 88.6. My name is Malcolm Ocheri.
Well, freedom rise and truth prevails. Our land where there's hope for us all. Our land where there's hope for us all.
Radio down to level 8.6, the Melody FM. That has been the program State of the Nation with Malcolm Butsiri and the crew. Same time, same station, the world to join us.
Okay, now which one you want? Give me correct sausage, gala sausage roll, sure to keep you going. Gala sausage roll, give me the king of sausage, gala sausage roll. Because if you know the gala, enough to be like gala, sweet and satisfying. Gala sausage roll, nourishes your
Gala sausage roll. Reach out for one now.
gala.
Today, I go teach you how to party night.